Lockdown Games and Luke Stone Studios presents Hybrids, the role-playing game. This core rules to the new Base Plus 2 game engine allows you to design your own character and create your own homebrewed adventure, complete with charts, maps, and every resource needed to dive right into the Hybrids universe on your own, or continue where the quick play left off with a brand new module. Get caught up on the series with the Killing Field trade paperback, enhanced with creator commentary and behind-the-scenes information. This special edition gives you even more value and entertainment. All this and more on Indiegogo.
Hey there, this is Cooper from Telepathic Bunny Comics. Looks like I'm riding solo today. Actually, I have a guest that's supposed to come in eventually. He's scheduled to come in at 5:30, but I wanted to start a little bit early today. Talk about something that kind of occurred yesterday. And I'm sure you guys have seen the EFAPT live stream with the president, I guess, of Crowdfunder, at least the organization that spawned Crowdfunder. Now, this gentleman came to Bancroft's show about 2 months ago, maybe. I'm thinking it's early January, so it's not been that long ago. And he was, saying, "Oh, you guys, want a platform for your comic? Come on over to Crowdfunder. We got plenty of space over here." And he just agreed to host Mike Barron and Chris Braley's topic. Oh, hold on 1 second. Hey there, man. I'll you to 5:30, dude.
Oh shoot. I thought something was off, but I also thought you tweeted out something about being on the top of the hour. Whatever.
Yep.
I just won't say anything for 26 minutes.
No. That's fine. I'm glad you're here. I was actually I was going to like run your stuff at 5:30, but I was just going to kind of like talk about this topic before we got into our subject. Did you see the EFAP of the Crowdfunder weasel saying, Comicsgate, hate group, blah, blah, blah,
No, I missed it.
You missed it? Oh, okay. Hold on 1 second. Legendary Monkey, hello, hell TB. What's up, dude? Yeah, well, the Crowdfunder president in a Zoom call with Chris Braley, which he knew Chris Braley was going to, you know, at least do articles on. Told him that basically he understood that Comicsgate is what they're fighting for, what they're fighting against, and understood and to somewhat extent, you know, that a little weasel can. He had, you know, had empathy for it, you know, but because of the smears against Comicsgate and the reputation that we had accrued over some period of time, he and his organization felt like we were too toxic to be on the platform. So, and
Which is weird because it's like I've been around for years, and like 99% of everything I've ever seen is just a bunch of dudes roasting each other and talking about comics. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I'm not saying that stuff doesn't exist, and that there aren't people who do like, you know, kind of crummy things, but it's like, it's kind of like, imagine if you judged all soccer fans based on hooligans. You know what I mean?
It's exactly like that. Early on in Comicsgate, there was this group called War Campaign. Okay. And they had since engaged or decoupled with us and gone their own way. And a lot of us breathed a sigh of relief because they were a bunch of trolls. They didn't give a shit about comics. They didn't give a shit about creating a movement here. They didn't give a shit about fighting against the culture war. They only gave a shit about upsetting people and who they control and have like a, you know, excuse to do so. And so this group was in our community for a little while, and they attacked people. There was doxing going on. I think there was a swatting incident. I mean, these people were everything that, you know, we hate in SJWs. And
so you don't know my War Campaign history, do you?
I don't know your War Campaign history, so I'm preaching to the choir here, right?
Yeah. So basically, when I first showed up, like, most of the people that noticed Eudaimonia were War Campaign, and like the first big time stream I went on was Rose, and it was like the most catastrophic timing you could possibly imagine, because Eudaimonia 2 happened, and like I'm supposed to go on Row. It was like a Sunday night, and that weekend was like the huge like rift between War Campaign and Ethan and Cecil and all of them. And I was right there at the epicenter of it, being promoted on War Campaign Live that weekend. And so to this, like, and so Monday morning, you know, I do the show. I'm like, I don't even really know all of what's going on. I'm kind of piecing it together. But I'm like, hell yeah, man, you know, War Campaign, you guys, you know, supported me. Monday morning, I'm blocked by Ethan. And I've been blocked ever since. I'm blocked by Mandy, and it's just, and it's like, I know there's a rift, and I know people don't like them.
Yeah.
I don't have anything against those guys. It stopped being like a fun scene, so I just kind of, you know, stepped away. It's just not what I'm about. Like, I'm not about, like, you know, dredging up, you know, this or that. It's not fun to talk about this kind of stuff forever.
No, it's not. Hold on one second. Legendary Monkey says, I remember War Campaign. Good riddance. There you go. Well, I mean, but what's going on though is that people are still painting us with that brush. You know, whether you agree with what War Campaign was or is, or you know, in that space. You have to admit that they operated kind of like as, you know, internet trolls, you know, and because of their aggression, you know, I mean, Darwin Cook's widow got upset with EVS for daring to say he was friends with Darwin Cook, and so she's like, no, he wasn't. He was never his friend, you know, and you know, did her thing, you know. Wrap herself in victimhood, you know, over her husband's death, you know, but they went after her, and so she's been ever since then. She's been popping up every time Ethan says something or defends himself, and says, "Well, you guys came after a widow," you know, and so whatever. What? I'm sorry that your husband died. Okay, that's bad.
Yeah,
But
it's like either it's right or it's wrong to judge a group of people by the very worst. You know what I mean? Like you can't have it.
exactly.
You can't do that and then expect other people not to do that in return.
Exactly. It's funny because when you like apply that logic to them, they're like, "Well, I'm not associated with them." Well, it doesn't matter. According to your rules, according to your methodology, the fact that you are tangentially, in some way connected to them means that you are them, according to
Mm.
your logic, the logical progression of thought here. Okay, and so Doofus was on stream, and you gotta watch it because if nothing else, is very entertaining to see a guy who knows what he's saying is complete and utter and complete bullshit and hypocritical bullshit, and watch him try to like almost in real time, justify it to himself while he's saying it.
Mm.
And that I've always found that really fascinating to watch the gears turn in somebody's head that's that far up their own butt,
Yeah.
So, but either way,
Yeah,
well,
the question I keep kicking around, right, is that we've heard
yeah,
forever that like
mhm,
it's Indiegogo, Kickstarter is the
right,
worst.
right,
So
right.
like at what point is Indiegogo going to become so untenable that
Right,
Kickstarter is now, because at the very least with Kickstarter,
yeah,
they take the time to approve your campaign. Like
right,
you
right.
can't launch unless you have their approval. Now, I know there was all kinds of things with your boy Zach and
Yeah,
you know them, banning his campaign and other people got banned, but like if Kickstarter is more transparent than Indiegogo, like I'm
seriously.
I'm wondering if people are just going to start migrating over there because it's like,
Mhm.
the best of the worst.
Well, the thing about it is the only people I could ever discover were like supposedly gate kept over there was graveyard shift and jawbreakers. Okay, well, no jawbreakers, it's jawbreakers essentially, and
Well,
that was your boy Zach. What's that?
Didn't Mike Barron get?
Yeah, recently he did
Yeah.
get banned over there, and that turned out to be this group online who just to prove flex their muscle, put practically a pornographic book on the same website, and it stayed up. So that's one of them things.
Mm-hmm.
But either way, so I mean, Kickstarter, you can expect apathy. They're not going to push you, but if somebody points you out to them, you're going to get kicked. Okay. But with Indiegogo, it's a lot more insidious. I would never, at this point, I would never go on Indiegogo. I just would never. Um, I mean, there's people that are still like carrying their water, but at this point, no.
Mm-hmm.
Especially, my friend Luke Stone has got a working site up that right now he's about to go into beta called Fund My Comic, and the original company is still supposedly working somewhere on the website that was promised to Luke.
Mm.
And maybe we'll see that by March the 31st. But until then, he went to that that company's direct competitor and set up shop with them, and
Nice.
has well, I mean, it's funny because he did that, and suddenly this group that he paid to do it was like, wait a second, we've got a working copy, as soon as we get this worked out, we'll have it, we'll turn it over to you. He says, okay, we'll migrate over there once it's done, but until then, we're setting up with these guys.
Mm.
And evidently, the people that have gone behind the scenes and kind of like, driven around the car, the block and kicked the tires are very impressed with it. And it's going to be 50 campaigns for the beta. But as those campaigns like either fund or leave the platform, there'll be room for somebody else to come on. But if the website that was promised gets turned over, then that will the beta will end a lot quicker. But for right now, this is going to be a direct competitor to Indiegogo and Fun and Kickstarter, and without the algorithm bullshit or the that, I mean, of course they have to like keep certain things off, because laws and things like that. But for the most part, it's going to be free speech platform.
Nice.
And they're like, hey, even if you hate our guts, you're welcome to put your project on here.
Mm-hmm.
So
Hail,
which is
Hojo.
how it should be. What's that?
I was saying hail to Hojo.
Oh yeah, Hojo. What's up, dude?
I think I got 2 backers for the mythicals off of giving away digital Noirlem to people.
Oh, awesome. Yeah. That Mythicals book, it really starts kicking when it gets to book 2. I hope people will stick around. I've seen it. I've seen 5 of the scripts that he's got available, and that he's got written, and the next one is really going to take off, I believe. This one's just basically getting your feet wet, but the concepts that he's kind of introducing are really going to start cooking in the next issue.
Sure.
But so looking forward to it. Meanwhile, let me get us kind of established here. Let me play your trailer for Noirlem, if that's okay with you.
Sure. All
right. Let me find out where I put it. All right, here we go. This is the there's not like an open campaign, but this is available for buying now. So all right. That is the Noirlem. That is the book in question here. Very. I love that cello piece. What is that one?
I believe that is no copyright cello sad music.
Generic, no copyright cello sad music. That works. That works. It's got a tune to it. You can dance to that. Anyway,
I actually posted. If you like my eclectic taste in music, I also just redid the trailer for How to Die 2, which I launched the other night, and that has more obscure musical instrument goodness.
There you go. Yep. I mean, be pretentious when you can, right? There you go. It's always pretension's always the best way to go. Anyway, well, I get accused of that all the time. My family's like, they accuse me of putting on airs. It's funny. They ask for like facts or things like that to be pulled out of the air, and when I have it, they pretty much like mutter smart ass under their breath. So yeah, I know you feel my pain, right?
Oh yeah.
I'm a writer. what we do is we pull stuff in, we read voraciously, we pay attention to things around us, we pay attention to people, we pay attention to things, and then we absorb it all, and then we regurgitate it at some point, and hopefully,
Yeah, I was on with Bancroft the other night, and he asked me to explain what the Harlem Renaissance is, and I was like,
oh
okay,
no,
I want to explain this to 110 people, and in 30 seconds, it's like, how do you explain an entire artistic movement?
Yeah. You did well, by the way. You did well on that. But I mean, how do you explain the wonderment of a oppressed group of people waking up to their potential?
Yeah,
and
it's like that's the beauty of it is that I
Mhm.
think the best way to do that is to couch it in something that we all understand, which is
Right.
what all Americans did. That's where or
Yeah.
transcendentalism came from. We found our
There you go.
freedom and we started making art. It's just what people do, and it's a wonderful thing.
Oh yeah. Considering the all the things that were in the Harlem Renaissance that kind of like is still in our culture today, bedrock of a lot of things that are in our culture today. As a matter of fact, things that were created in the Harlem Renaissance went over to England and then came back to us, through the Beatles and things like that, and
Russia too.
Russia too, yeah. And it's just like, I mean, how do you encapsulate that one? I was like, well, yeah, he's Australian, I mean, they're kind of down under down there. They don't really
they don't have art down there.
There you go. Well, if it is, it's upside down.
Yeah.
Right. Anyway, but one thing I wanted to talk about today, because this show is pretty much not only does it talk about the buy one back one initiative that we've got going on, but we try to talk about things that have to do with crowdfunding, like anomalies. What we pay attention to, like if something new or some new approach, or somebody is trying to find a new way to skin the cat. That's what I call it. The poor cat. I mean, we don't like say, all cats are sacred. I'm just, it's a phrase. It's a phrase. Okay. Anyway, I don't want the cat ladies coming after me. They are crazy. Anyway. All right. But anyway, and so you kind of like did an end around. You went you like kind of snuck back into what used to be the norm, but you did it in a very interesting way. You went to sum that up for us
Yeah, so basically I went and found an actual, like, honest to God publisher that wanted to publish a comic, and got it done the old fashioned way.
Right.
It's something that I've already been doing for a while with.
All righty. Looks like your internet went out, dude. Come back when you can, my friend. We all have internet problems these days.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you now.
Sorry.
No problem.
Internet went out for a second.
No problem. Yeah.
I
figured.
Basically found a publisher, did it the old fashioned way of, like,
right,
looking and seeing what publishers are accepting submissions. It's a lot of, like, every publisher is looking for something different in terms of, like, a pitch. So you have to make like a million different ways to pitch the same idea. But you get better at it. And I got a bite on the line.
Yeah. Well, the fact that you don't reveal your face, I guess you can't be accused of cultural appropriation, because you can always claim to be black, right? Anyway.
I'm white,
that's
everybody.
Yeah, he's white. He's white. Anyway. All right. More Rising came in. Hey, man. Anybody wants to come on the panel and talk, you feel free. You got the links. But I was, that's a joke. That's a bad joke. I know that you probably have to deal with that, but it is what it is. That's the society we live in now.
I'll have to report back.
Yeah.
I actually had this conversation with the publisher. I sent them the pitch and everything, and they were like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, man, this looks really good. This looks look like a really important story. Can you tell us more?" And I said, the first thing I said was, "Okay, just so you know, I am white. If that's if that's a big deal, I just want to be
Right.
upfront about it." And they were like, "No, you don't.
No.
Doesn't
There
matter."
you go. There you go. Well, the thing about it is I'm a student of history, and the bottom line is that the black race in America was reaching its potential. It was reaching the zenith of its potential around the civil rights movement actually destroyed its momentum. Because most people don't understand, they went from slavery to millionaires in less than 3 generations. I think what was her name? She was the songstress that went over to France. Josephine Baker was actually pretty much a millionaire, and that was just less than 3 generations there. And they yes, they were segregated off. Yes, they had like white only this, white only that, but because they didn't have interference and because people didn't like really pay attention to them, they were able to form societies. They were able to form healthy ecosystems, and yet there were parallel economies. Yes, but the thing about it is, though, you had George Washington Carver, and you had you had some really incredible intellectuals and scientists, and you had people who were philosophers. You had the music was incredible, as you pointed out in your book. You had both blues and jazz that came from that. You also had sports teams. The lowest team, or the weakest team in the Negro Baseball League could probably kill the Yankees easy, which is why they started they started integrating, because they saw the athletes and the level of talent for the teams in the arms race. It wasn't integration for the sake of integration. It was integration for the sake of winning pennants. They were dunking basketballs, and things like that back in the 20s and 30s, So.
So there's there's a video on my channel where I talk a lot about like the history of the Harlem Renaissance, and like the kind of thinking that you're describing is like, I won't comment on where I fall on that side of the debate, but it was a common thing. Like it was like philosophically there were multiple ways of thinking, just like there are in any other group of people. But one side was kind of actively suppressed. So you had like people like W.E.B. Du Bois, who had the theory of the double consciousness. But then you also had people that were kind of striking out against that and just saying like, what was his name? Booker T. Washington.
Right. Booker T. Washington. Yeah.
George Schuyler, who famously called Martin Luther King a con man and a charlatan. I think he was a newspaper writer for the Pittsburgh Gazette. And the thing that all of these people have in common is that all of these people who thought a little bit differently from the mainstream, what one writer called the black intelligentsia, was that they all basically died broke and friendless, because they were all individually run off, mostly by communists. And so,
which infested the civil rights movement. About everybody but Martin Luther King in that inner circle were communists, open, active communists. So I mean, the bottom line is you look at the results. It's what's the results of Harlem Renaissance, the results of freedom, the results of capitalism, results of the ignorance or the apathy of white America was a growing, burgeoning people with technology, with wherewithal, with art, and with beauty, and then suddenly we have to save them, and now you got inner cities. I mean, you have to look at what came out of it, what the results were. We'll take care of you. We'll give you a living wage. We'll give you a place to stay. So it is what it is. Well, I said openly and all openly, a communist. He was openly a communist. But of course, the FBI was like tapping him and everything. But it is what it is. Anyway, but into that environment of the Harlem Renaissance is this where this book is set, and so you've got this book is a very unique artifact in that there's really nothing like it on the shelves right now that I've seen. And so for the novelty alone, I think the more people you get to look at it, the more interest it's going to get. So hopefully, I'll positive. So the review, I did give you a review. I went ahead and I EFAP'd it, so it's about 3 minutes, if you don't mind.
Cool.
I'll go ahead and play that now. All right, and this is the review. Okay, here we go. Let's go with smoke filled stroll through a genre. Right. All right. From the first voice, what was it? Okay, Hammett style voiceover to the parting as airy allies. Noirlem never loses sight of what it is. This book is razor focused on staying in its lane. This author has a love for the subject material and the community this is set in. All right, prose. It hits all the beats like a foggy underground club jazz. Oh, I'm a writer. Sue me. Ons. It's reliant on some pretty obvious tropes. Them. Oh, hold on. What happened? What happened? What happened? What happened? All right. All right. Overall rating. All right. This is my honest rating. Bear in mind, I do have this book, so we'll give it a 4. Yeah. 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 I'm gonna go with 4. Yeah, I'm gonna go with 4. There you go.
Appreciate the 4.
There you go. There you go. So that's me leaving in and we lost everybody we had, but it is what it is. Anyway, so we make sure you go to Barnes and Noble and leave a review for Noirlem so he can boost his algorithm a little bit. Anyway, we got Mr. Salty coming on. Hello, Mr. Salty Artist. Fresh off the FMC update, how did that go?
It went really well. A little bit longer than what I had wanted to go, but a lot of questions. We were able to cover what it was like to build a campaign and support a campaign, what it looked like, and what many of our features are going to be, and kind of ways to boost other campaigns. It went really well.
Yep.
Really well.
Yeah. Well, we're talking today about someone who kind of circumvented the whole crowdfund scene and went straight to a publisher. He found a publisher, and he's currently on the shelf. You're going to be on the shelves of Barnes and Noble, or just on the website?
I think that's just something it's too early to tell. The point of trying to get people to review it is to increase the chances that stores will carry it, in store.
Right.
But yeah, like it just came out this week, so I don't know yet.
Oh, okay. Anyway, Hell Luke from Immortal Rising.
What's up?
Hey. And dropped another essay in your DMs, Luke.
I do appreciate it.
I've had some essays from Jason Black myself. They are always something you have to set and parse in small chunks because that is one brilliant individual. I would definitely say.
Yeah, smart guy.
Yeah. We did something on Egyptian technology, and we went awry a few places, and he corrected me with and he had chapter and verse and links to click to and all that other stuff.
Sometimes you gotta be set straight.
Yeah, and I appreciate it. As always. Anyway, so basically, Mr. Raiden Radio, he decided that the crowdfunding, that he decided to go straight to a publisher, and he found a publisher willing to take submissions and to not mess with him too much about the editorial or anything like that. And managed to get into Barnes and Noble. That's no small accomplishment for somebody completely in the indie space, especially when it's not sponsored.
Yeah.
And so,
congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And you also managed to fulfill your crowdfunding before you went with the publisher, and so which is how I got a lighter, which is around here somewhere. Anyway, hold on 1 second. This right here, yeah, it's a lighter. There you go. So basically, you did kind of you got the best of both worlds. You did the crowdfunder, got funded on that, and then you went the publisher route, and so you're immediately available. You don't have to say, "Oh, the campaign's closed." You can just say. And so you're basically one thing that crowdfunder or Fund My Comic is going to provide. I believe it's still. I hope it's not bad old information, but I believe Luke is going to allow people to keep campaigns open as a store, and plug it into their websites,
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
We have a
So
widget.
so that's also going to be an option. So if you want to like your website, have your own website. If you don't want to do the collective thing with Fund My Comic, but you can also you know have a store on Fund My Comic. Use that as your store, and just attach it to your website. That way you don't have to host everything yourself. So that's also going to be a very neat resource for people to have. But that and the fact that you're not going to be, we're not going to see Luke Stone talking to Chris Braley and talking in circular logic about how, yes, we understand that you're not a hate group, but you see your reputation is as a hate group, and so we can't have that on our website. What? Anyway, you haven't seen that yet?
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, I've seen it.
yeah, that's a lot of tap dancing. There's a lot of logical tap dancing there. It's pretty incredible.
Guys, I'm so sorry. I don't know what's going on. We have like thunderstorms coming through, so that's why I keep dropping off. Sorry about that.
Oh, no problem, man, no problem. I guess your icon's a little literal right now, huh?
Yeah.
A little bit.
But yeah, I was gonna
Yeah,
say,
maybe.
like with the whole, crowd, other options for crowdfunding sites.
Yeah.
Like, 2 weeks ago, I watched it feels like I watched 3 or 4 campaigns launch on Bancrofts, and like none of them showed
Yeah.
up the next day, and it's just like
Right.
right now I can't, I don't know where the winds of crowdfunding are going to go, tomorrow or next month, but
Yeah.
man, right now it really feels like I'm going to use Indiegogo's pre-launch to put together a nice size mailing list, and then just tell them to F off. Like actually send them an email saying like, you're hiding all of my friends' campaigns. So thanks for the pre-launch site. I'm going to take my business elsewhere.
Yeah. I honestly, it's like I was saying earlier. That Kickstarter, at least there's apathy there, But it's like they're not paying attention to you. But Indiegogo is like they are actively saying one thing and then doing something entirely different.
Yeah.
And so that's evil. I mean, that's just vile and evil. I really honestly don't think that anybody should give them the time of day at this point if you can find alternative. And so Fund My Comic coming in at this particular time is really, really good idea. And so, if we can catch that wave of people that are like, screw you, Indiegogo,
Yeah.
Because we're all going to have to. I mean, that ship is sinking, man. It's the Titanic, and they're playing autumn leaves, man. We need to get the hell off of this thing. And there's not very many lifeboats, okay? And Fund My Comic is the only one that we can guarantee is not going to float us out into the middle of the frigid northern Atlantic and say, "Oh, we don't like you. Get out of the boat," So. So I mean, our options are getting limited here. Crowdfunder wasn't exactly a lot option that many people were looking at or even caring about.
Yeah.
The few campaigns that tried never got any traffic over there. But the fact that this is just yet another website that is actively doing what used to be called discrimination. Open discrimination, but now seems to get a pass. I think honestly, it so there's like the two options here represented. You got Fund My Comic, which is the crowdfund option, and you got Raiden Radio, who found a publisher who doesn't have a stick up their ass, and so there you go. I think I could actually say that there's one thing. I mean, there's a freedom to going your own way and like staying independent entirely, but at the same time, it would be nice to have somebody help do the lifting, and so I would be lying if I didn't say that I've checked into publishers myself. But like you were saying, Raiden Radio, a lot of people, because the industry really collapsed, and there's not a lot of people taking submissions right now.
Mm,
Um, and so to find one that you did is open to uh, distributing your book, and it's a really good book. Uh, I really I know that you asked everybody. You went to everybody. You said that you went down the whole list, right?
mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, and
and
the other thing that's really crazy about Indiegogo right now is that it's like the part
mhm,
that's like really truly baffling to me is like I don't
mhm,
understand how they can afford to be turning away money. Like if you just go look at their
mhm,
active campaigns under almost any like like comics, video game, it's
yeah,
pathetic. Like there's nothing
yeah.
going on. It's like a ghost town. Like I don't how can they afford to just be like, nah, we're just gonna hide this. We don't want money.
Well, the insiders that I've been the people that know insiders. Okay, I don't know any insiders myself, but people who I trust who know insiders have said that there has been like an edict on high to basically jettison everything creative on the creative end of things because it's too problematic now to have any, and so they're kind of like shedding their whole creativity side of things, because because you always have people coming after you, looking for something to be offended by. And not many people are going to be offended by a brand new toilet dispenser idea,
Hmm.
Uh, so
Yeah, but somehow Ethan is not affected.
no, no,
Hmm.
he's not affected. He was right there on page one. He's like,
Yeah, your boy Zach is
yeah,
not offended or not offended, not
uh,
affected.
right, right. Yeah, it's like they're choosing to block or ban the ones, or shadow ban the ones that they can get away with. Uh, and the thing about it is, as long as those big guys are not being shadow banned and are pushing the website, and then the smaller creators are still going to go to Indiegogo. And well, Uncle E is on there. He's not being shadow banned. Maybe I could buy with it. Well,
Mm-hmm.
you may or you may not, but why take the chance with that? But it's coming. There's coming a day where they're going to completely, totally not tolerate any point of view that's not their own, and that day's rapidly approaching. And so, not acknowledging that reality is you're going to get called out in the open. Okay. Which is not a place you want to be, especially when there's two sides firing at each other. So,
Yeah.
but
You know, everyone winds up losing when this stuff happens.
yeah,
Or you innovate. You create something
right.
where it's all
Well,
safe.
the way things have always happened in culture in the past is when one point of view gets suppressed, it finds a way to express itself. And then it becomes counterculture, and then it becomes cool, and then the younger people adopt it as their own, and eventually it moves and becomes the mainstream. That's the way things have been since time immemorial. Um, and the movements that we know about are usually the ones that started underground or started with the apathy of the mainstream, gathered steam, and eventually supplanted what was once the mainstream. And so that the difference is this time we've got a group that still identifies themselves as the counterculture that is the mainstream now, and they're still trying to claim that ground, and because of that they're actively trying to destroy and suppress anybody else that comes in, because then they'll be revealed as the mainstream that they are, and And so that's a new phenomenon. It's very recent, I believe. Um, any thoughts on that, Raiden Radio?
Oh, I'm sorry. I completely spaced out for like 8 seconds, and that's the moment that you asked me a question.
That's okay. That's okay. It wasn't like I was waxing poetic there or anything. Anyway, Jason Black, maybe it could be that there's some nuance in the rules. Creators aren't being told that a word or a curve or an image is crossing some new line, but there's no transparency or communication. Yeah. It's like I used to say to people that I was employed by that that would take me into the office and tell me that I had violated something that I wasn't aware of. I'd always tell them, okay, uh, you know, now you've told me I'm responsible for it, but you have to tell me once. And this is the first I've heard of it.
Yeah,
You
that
know,
was the most
now that
frustrating
I've,
thing about when How to Die was like disappeared from the front page is that
uh,
like I don't I was shadow banned before being shadow banned was fashionable.
ah,
This is like years ago. Like it just wasn't showing up, and
you was cool before it was cool, right? You know,
yeah,
there you
I'm
go.
a, yeah,
Dude.
I'm a trendsetter. But like what was so frustrating about it is that like I was emailing support like
Hmm.
6, 7 times a day, and they just kept replying with like, "No, it shows up just fine." And I was like, "No, it really isn't." And
No.
it was like maddening. And then I think like a year later, I watched it happen to somebody else, and they discovered that the reason why is because when you put in your tags in your campaign, I think they just
Hmm.
put the word sex, like just so it would like be tagged with sex, thinking, sex sells.
Right.
That's exactly what I did. I had the
Hmm.
same exact thought, and what was so maddening, even in hindsight, is like your support team literally doesn't know that. Like your support team doesn't know how the website works.
Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah. We when James Rock was being he had his money been frozen, and so he goes back into his you know, his campaign and tries to do everything he can to get his campaign released. Okay. Because they're like, there's images in your campaign, so we're holding your money. Okay. And so he goes back in there and he just like starts censoring the crap out of everything that he thinks is going to be offensive. And you know, he would like, and they never would like communicate with him if it was if he got it or not. And then later on, he finds out that the image that got him like you know, blocked was the image of a boy who was fighting back against a bully and stabbed him in the cheek with a pencil.
Mm,
That was the image that got him in trouble. But then when you go down the campaign, there's images of children being slaughtered by samurai swords in mass. And it's like, I mean, it's like, oh, a child fighting back against the bully. Well, that offends us, but these, you know, you can slaughter them wholesale with a samurai sword. That's just fine
sure,
and dandy.
sure.
Uh, so if there's like a logic to it or some kind of like a through logic, but they don't even know themselves what's
Hmm.
bannable, uh, which is the problem when you go to censor anything. Uh, you know, because what's found offensive is so subjective. Okay. Uh, and so, unless you have like a terms of service that spells this stuff out, and you follow that terms of service, and everybody that at home who use your website follows that terms of service, then there's no common ground. But they make these terms of service with such vague lawyer speak that nobody knows what's going on, and it's deliberate, you know. That way they can just be arbitrary about who they ban or who they don't. Um, but
Yeah, the other thing that's really frustrating is like
uh,
you can. Oh, sorry, go
mhm.
ahead. I was gonna say you can
Oh, no problem.
go
Go ahead.
on Indiegogo and find like comic book campaigns that don't have any money in it at all, that have
Yeah.
things that like you find this stuff all the time. Like, there's no way this doesn't break your terms of service. Like, I'm
Right.
talking like explicit nudity,
Yeah.
copywritten characters that there are people doing like trying to do Spider-Man and Batman. That's perfectly fine. But
Yeah.
once you actually have people putting money into your campaign, then they go over that with a fine-tooth
Right.
comb. Like, it doesn't make any sense.
Well, it's like the people that when Mike Barron got banned off of Kickstarter, the very same people put a book on Kickstarter that deliberately violated all the terms of service. And then they bragged about it being on. We can be on there and you can't. We can violate the rules, but you can't. And they just paraded it. And then when everybody went to Kickstarter and said, "Look, this violates your terms of service," they're bragging about violating your terms of service. Look here, and Kickstarter's like, we don't see anything wrong."
Mm-hmm. It's a
And
campaign that we love.
there you go. Yeah, they probably promoted the. It was pure smut. I mean, it was like pure. It was basically hentai, and it was on Kickstarter, and oh well, we can't have this Hispanic man fighting to secure the border, like but we definitely can be okay with teenage hentai. Yeah, okay, well that's fine, and it's just like this is what we're going to be dealing with, I think there is a little protection in having a publisher to intercede on your behalf, though, wouldn't you say?
Mm-hmm. I mean, we'll see.
No,
That's the thing is that
right,
like I'm happy
right.
to talk about it. I'm happy to share info, but it's it's a rabbit hole, and I'm still at the top. So I'll keep everybody updated on everything that comes of it, so everybody knows the transparency of it. I've had a couple guys reach out to me. I won't say who they are, but people that we all know that are like that are basically going to this same publisher, and hopefully we can get some more books in stores.
There you go. Because ultimately, as we supplant the mainstream, that's where we're going to have to go. We're going to have to go to brick and mortars. We're going to have to go to newsstands. We're going to have to get out there, and start getting physical copies in people's hands in places that aren't the internet. And so I see you as being a pioneer, and I'm paying very close attention to what happens there. Anyway, let me get Jason Black. Here we go. I understand the reward tier that looks like a bomb might be a problem. Where does it say that in the rules? Okay. There's a drawing of a guy's head being sewed off while he screams. Some kid could see that. Right. So why don't they say the problem is we're putting the campaign on hold, then wait for a response from the creator? Exactly. No transparency. None
whatsoever.
As a matter of fact, IGG had one guy that seemed to respond to everybody, and then they moved him. And it's like he responded to me when I was complaining about James Rock being shadow banned after you froze his money, and he responded back to me and said, "Oh, okay, I'm flagging this for the trust and safety people," and then the trust and safety people evidently had a button they could push to turn it back on, and they admitted later to other people that we turn it back on. So they admitted there is a shadow ban button. Okay, our friend Pixel Trader, brilliant genius that he is, wrote a piece of software in like 15 minutes that discovered the shadow ban algorithm that pops up in people's campaigns when they're being shadow banned. Of course, Shane Davis went right to the IGG with it, and now we know, and now they know we know. So it is what it is. But
sometimes you need to play your cards a little closer to the chest. I'm just
saying. Yeah, exactly. And so we're like, what? You went to them and blabbed about it? Now we can't. Now we can't like share this with each other. Oh, well, yeah, we're definitely being shadow banned here. So they changed it.
More data.
Right.
They're doing it now, but they're doing it manually, I believe. That's what I think. I
Right.
think
They're
it's
not
getting
doing
done
with
wrong.
algorithmic anymore. So unfortunately,
No.
you know. Uh, Thank you, Shane. Thank you very much, sir. Enjoy your, big campaigns there. Anyway, so
He's all
so
right.
uh, so we're paying attention. We're paying attention to what happens radio and radio. Now he's got a deal going on right now. That if you go and back, anybody in the CG space, anybody that has a campaign that's considered CG, and then you send him a screenshot of it on Twitter, pretty much.
Yeah.
Okay. On Twitter, and he will send you a digital copy of Noirlem to read, and then and as you read, after you read that digital copy, he really would like you to go to Barnes and Noble, and put a honest review of it, and he wants honest reviews. He wants you to be. I gave him 4 stars. I didn't peg him out in 5. He wants honest reviews. He wants people to be absolutely as honest as possible. He doesn't want like a review bombing. He just wants an honest review. That will improve his standing on the Barnes and Noble website. Maybe move him up in their priority list, which is important. You got a publisher. And plus, as we go, if this publisher is getting curbside and getting people are looking at the stuff that they're putting out, and they start making money, that could be like the publishing house for CG. I mean,
Hey, whoa.
well, I mean, possibility. Okay,
You're saying too much, bro.
Yeah.
That is way
keep it
down.
close. Keep it close.
I'm sorry. This show that nobody watches. Okay, I apologize. I was saying way
pulling a
down
Shane
the
Davis.
road.
Come on, Shane.
Way down the road. Joking. Okay, not serious at all. Anyway, all right. Okay. Anyway. But the buy one back one initiative is still on. Just click the hashtag. All right, hold on a second. Let me put this up here. Anyway, click that hashtag right there, and it will take you to all the wonderment that people have put there. We've got a lot of campaigns going on. There's a guy named E. Simlon who has a website of about. I think he's over 100 campaigns listed there. Not all of them are from our community, but basically the idea is as you back a big campaign that's guaranteed, absolutely 100%, we'll hit your mailbox. Go over and consider backing somebody who's smaller, who might not have the resources that the big guy does, but they're just as good. We're all about meritocracy here. We just want them on the same table. So anyway, that has been Cooper from Telepathic Bunny Comics. You guys got anything to promote right quick?
Well, I have my Indiegogo, but I don't.
Yeah.
We're still working on that. Right now, we're
Yeah,
trying to raise
right.
money over there, but I know people are now. I've heard from many that they're waiting on Fund My Comics. So
Yeah.
we're gonna keep the We're gonna keep the Indiegogo up. We're also
Okay.
gonna run over on Kickstarter for a little bit, starting next month, to
Yeah.
try to get some of those eyes on it, and then obviously we're gonna have our Fund My Comic, and hopefully all the people that have delayed in supporting,
Yeah.
and there's a lot of you, that you will jump on the Fund My Comic.
Right.
The
Yeah, we played
Kickstarter.
the trailer at the beginning of the show. That would be what we were talking about. Anyway, okay. We got a. Let me click this right quick. See what this. What is this? Raiden?
Oh, this is How to Die 2. I launched it the other night. But
Okay.
as far as like anything else to promote, there's that. But also, you can amend it to back 1, get 2. Because you back a book, I can hit me up and you get Noirlem with it. So it's like I'm basically making every other CG campaign a buy one get one free.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
The
man is hard at
there's
work here.
mythicals. There's we got Egg Beater. I think Graham Nolan just launched.
Yep.
So yeah, any of those books.
Frankenstein Jr.
Yeah.
Yep, Frankenstein Jr. is just launched.
I think
that's a Graham Nolan and Chuck Dixon. So there you go.
I'm familiar with Chrome Dog.
Yeah. Chrome Dog. Yeah. I can play that trailer. I got it. Anyway, let me share this right quick. This is How to Die 2 Indiegogo. There you go. This is the campaign. How to Die 2. You looks like you changed artist. Just different guy.
Yep. I'm trying to right this ship, basically. Get this series back on the right track.
Okay.
Yeah, just looking for improvements across the board.
Awesome. Yeah, so that's on Indiegogo. If you that's live now. If you back that, he will give you a free copy of Noirlem. Good deal, right? Also, another possibility for you to back is this one right here. Let me play it right quick.
Epsilon City needs heroes, but will Scratch, the Chrome Dog, have what it takes to answer the call? Beck, Chrome Dog, starting February 3rd on Indiegogo.
There you go.
Back Chrome Dog, get Noirlem with it.
There you go. It's a simple concept. Buy one, get one free. There you go. Just like at the grocery store. There you go. Or will those coupons get in the mail? Fast food if you're into that. Anyway, this has been Telepathic Planet Comics. Always remember,
I feel heroic and handsome. A little wet, but I still look good. I look good.
Here you go. All right. Not even a chuckle. Jeez Louise, guys. Man, sakes.
Tough audience, man.
Tough room, man. Tough room. Goodness.
I'm just exhausted.
All right. Let's think. Yeah, there you go. I get it. All right. Yep. So that's all we've got for this afternoon. Thank you for coming. And we'll see you next time. Bye, everybody. Bye.
Bye, all.
Tell me what's on your mind.